easy to send to Padukas because they don't have logic. It's just a matter, you see. It's just a matter which doesn't have logic and which doesn't resist. And especially when it is energized, it is simply like my representative. My representative is there and it's very easy. But to a person who has a logic, sending it will be little, means his whole logic has to be purified and made to receptive. That's why it takes a little time. But I have decided before this Guru Purnima, July 25th, at least 25 people will be initiated into receiving or the teleported materials like a Vibhuti or Lingam or any material. And July 25th, Guru Purnima, we will have a public demonstration to the media on the science of teleportation. We will have a full-fledged public demonstration to the international media under the controlled conditions. All the people who are going to receive Vibhuti will be monitored by scientists, and person who is going to send me, I also will be monitored by the scientists, and we will prove it scientifically, the science of teleportation. And not only that, I will make this science available to the world as a clear curriculum, as a syllabus. Like now, I have made the levitation as a clear science curriculum. I can assure anybody comes and sits in the inner awakening for 21 days will levitate. Guarantee. This time onwards you will see it's a guaranteed experience. It is not like you may not know. We have mastered the science. We have mastered the science of reproducing that experience. Not only few people can experience, anybody who sits the 21 days, goes through, will experience levitation. We have mastered the science. Same way, I'll make this, I think by December inner awakening, I'll make this teleporting as a clear science which anybody will be able to receive it. Anybody will be able to receive it. And already I am training some 15-20 of the ashramites. I am sitting with them, training them not only to receive and teleport, even to send. Even to send. I just wanted some yogis, at least few thousand yogis, to learn this science in a very systematic way and share it with the world. And it is all just to inspire you, make you have Shraddha for Shastra Pramana. Understand? I wanted all of you to know, especially people who receive Vibhuti in their hands or in their house Padukas, or who are part of this teleporting science or who are experiencing levitation. Do not allow this to lead to ego. No. Don't allow this to expand or make you arrogant. Expand your ego or make you arrogant. Then it becomes like an elephant goes to take bath in the river, but finally that fool gets into some mud and dumps the mud on his own head and comes out more dirty. Then he went inside the water. He went inside the water to clean himself, but finally instead of pouring water on his head, he poured sludge and dust on his head and came out. Don't become like that. Be very clear. Do not use your spiritual experiences to improve your or to expand your ego. No. Talk always about your spiritual experiences with a lot of humbleness and respect to that experience and the transformation it created on you. Understand? Share this with the world to tell, because of this Vibhuti materializing in your hand, you have more Shraddha, more sincerity to the Shastra Pramana and Apta Pramana. You have more sincerity towards the science of enlightenment. Otherwise, what is the use? Padukas Vibhuti is coming true. if it inspires you to become more sincere to the ideology of enlightenment, it is great. Otherwise, what is the use? Nothing. I can give you vibhuti from here, packet after packet. What is the use? So much can be given from the bag. That is not a big thing. That is not something big. So understand, all these things should be used to inspire you and others towards the Shastra Pramana and Apta Pramana for transformation of your life, for the sake of enlightenment. Otherwise, it becomes more or less like a magician shop. No, I am not interested in it. Again and again I wanted to remind. If I materialize once, I wanted to remind you twice, so that we don't lose track of my avataric mission. My avataric mission is not making vibhuti come everywhere. Then I can sit in the Akshardham itself, or the place where I reside, and alright, come on, vibhuti shower. Then there can be a big cyclone and everywhere vibhuti will come. What is the use? Just send one cyclone, that will make vibhuti appear everywhere. So that is not my avataric mission. My avataric mission is to transform you and make you enlightened. So understand, it's for enlightenment, this whole thing, not for anything else. Once in a while, okay, kind of a proof for what we are talking. This Patanjali goes on talking about different samyamas. Today is a very powerful samyama. I'll enter into the sutra. He goes on talking. Sometimes mind tends to think, who knows? Patanjali also maybe one more crazy guy wrote something and left it, and who even knows whether Patanjali existed at all or not. Some 10-12 people, they would have written some nonsense and it all got compiled and became a book. Later on somebody picked it up and translating it, spreading, who knows. People can have doubts. And another one thing, maybe Patanjali is true and what he wrote is true, but it will work only 5,000 years before in those days, may not be now. All these kind of doubts can be there. So to remove that, only these few miracles, these few siddhis. Through this I wanted to give 4-5 statements. 1, Patanjali is true. 2, his teachings are practical. 3, I am experienced his teachings in my life through my mentors and acharyas and gurus. 4, I can reproduce that experience in you. 5, I am doing it. That's all. Understand? These are the 5 statements I want to give through this teleporting, materialization, levitation, kundalini awakening and all that. So, that's it. Let me enter into today's sutra. Subject. Today's subject is awaken your supernatural powers. Sutra. Let me enter into the sutra. It is the 143rd sutra of Patanjali Yoga Sutras and chapter 3rd, 37th sutra. Tata pratipa shravana vedana adarsha asvada varta Jayante. Please understand. Let me repeat the sutra once more. Tata Pratipa. Sorry. Pratipa Shravana Vedana Adarsha Ashwada Varta Jayante. Swami Vivekananda translates as, from that arises the knowledge of supernatural hearing, touching, seeing, tasting and smelling, which belong to Pradipa. Swami Prabhavananda translates as, hence one gains the knowledge due to spontaneous enlightenment and obtains supernatural powers of hearing, touch, sight and smell. Swami Sachidananda translates as, from this knowledge arises the supernatural hearing, touching, seeing, tasting and smelling through spontaneous intuition. Bhagavan Osho translates this as, from this follows intuitional hearing, touching, seeing, tasting and smelling. Let me enter into the sutra. Patanjali takes us one step deeper. He is giving us the technique to achieve the extraordinary powers like able to see anything, able to hear anything, able to taste anything, able to touch anything, able to smell anything at any time, existed at any space and time.
On 4th April 2012, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, demonstrated how to integrate our short-term productivity with our long-term creativity. The two are unified by our inner attitude when we understand that every action is an opportunity to enhance the lives of others and thereby also raise our own integrity. We spontaneously move towards increasing our excellence in every task. We become completely honest in our work because perfection is our natural inclination. Once all our work is infused with this principle of expansion, the long term results likewise reflect our authentic creativity. On 4th April 2013, the Supreme Court of Hinduism gave a new definition of responsibility. When we realize that we are the source of everything, each of us is God, we understand that we are responsible for everything. From the shadow or for whatever is going on in the world, if it has any effect on us, we are responsible for it. Even for events over which we may think we have no control, the concept of blaming others or of finding an excuse for not accomplishing our goals ceases to exist, and we discover how to be leaders. Swamiji explained that responsibility is the spiritual DNA for leadership, gifting us with understanding to resolve problems far beyond that we felt we could cope with before. And later that day, the Raj TV representatives came to offer their respects and love to Supreme Panva Hinduism for his all contribution on upholding the Sanatana Hindu Dharma. In the year 2014, on 4th April, the Supreme Council of Hinduism shared the Supreme Council of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, shared an interesting fact about Advaita. Swamiji explained that our hormones are programmed to experience non-duality. Biological, we experience Advaita during the milestones of our life, such as moving from childhood to adulthood and during death. But when we work directly with an enlightened master, he can move us to experience Advaita in the psychological and consciousness space to enjoy in our lives now. Living in harmony with others is the first step. We can practice it today. By remembering that everyone is part of us, later that day, Swamiji visited the Ganga Mata, and passed through the worldwide known cremation grounds of the Manikarnika God, from where the fortunate and blessed souls get to attain their moksha. On 4th April 2015, the Supreme Council of Hinduism conducted the Nitya Yoga Day 1. Swamiji explained that we don't have just one identity as we imagine. We have four identities at all times. At all times, we carry four identities together. The first of these four identities is Mamakara, our inner image. It is the inner image and the experience we carry about ourselves. The second identity is Hankara, our outer image, how we project ourselves to others. We may try to project ourselves as powerful, talented, honest, helpful, or whatever. Unfortunately, what we project is always far more than what we believe ourselves to be. Third identity is others' image of us, which is the image or expectation that others have about you. This is called Anyakara. The fourth identity is the life image. It is called Swanyakara or life image.
How you function, how you perceive, what you did, you are doing, you are going to do, how you thought, thinking, going to think, everything is dependent on one axis. That is your concept about you. Good news is, what you think about you can be diagnosed immediately. You can find it out immediately. The great news is, it can be changed just by your will. Willingness is all you need. Your fear and anxiety about your ignorance will collapse. Anxiety of ignorance. Oh, I am so ignorant. I don't know what I will do in my life. I don't know what I will be able to do. The anxiety about your ignorance, both will collapse the moment you accept your introduction, which is done to you by Upanishads. Tremendous strength in your perception, strength in your cognition, strength in your thinking. Strength in your thinking is the basic need of life.
In the year 2016, 4th April, the Supreme Council of Hinduism conducted the day 21 of the Inner Awakening Convention. As this was the last day of the convention, the delegates got to participate in the glimpses of my inner awakening and share all their breakthroughs and clicks they got throughout the convention. Additionally, the delegates got to receive the 21 temple prasadams that were brought especially for their benefit and enriching of the celebratory aspect of the Hindu temple based lifestyle. Additionally, Supreme Council of Hinduism gave a darshan for all the delegates of the IA convention and for all the Adinavasis as well, where they got to receive all the boons and blessings they needed in order to have the necessary breakthroughs for their internal and external advancement. In the year 2017, the Supreme Council of Hinduism conducted the Nithyananda 10 days convention. As part of this convention, Supreme Council of Hinduism initiated hundreds of new students into the Nithyananda Gurukul and gave them the energy darshan and that initiation into manifesting powers. Additionally, many of the Nithyananda convention delegates received the sacred